Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Candidly with Coffee.
Hey, let's go.
We're back. It's Monday.
That's why. Gotta get y'all motivated. Push
Yep.
y'all. Let's go.
Yeah, it's Motivation Monday, people.
Motivation Monday. Get after it.
Yes.
My favorite saying. Get after
Get
it.
after it. Your goals.
I like the one I always just say, getshitdone.com.
Oh, getshitdone.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you guys follow us over on the old gram, then you saw the video where I made fun of Mike.
She made hella fun of me.
It was so funny because I said, "Hey, can you film me? I'm gonna do a reels, but don't get mad, okay? I'm just gonna poke a little fun." You didn't know what I was doing.
No.
You're just following me around with the camera.
Yeah.
But
I'm a good sport, though.
yeah, you are
I
a good
can laugh
sport.
at myself. That's okay.
Were you wondering why I grabbed that 5-gallon water jug?
I had an idea you're going to make fun of me because I carried the gallon jug back in the day when I was a trainer at 24.
Well, and you always are always walking around with water, and you always hand it to me like, "Here, put this away." Or
I got the other new gallon jug now.
Anyways, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But payback is a coming, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm easy to make fun of, too, because I have quirky things.
Yeah.
I know Tyler and Alyssa make fun of
You
me.
can be a dork sometimes.
They make fun of... You know what would be funny is Alyssa, if she'd be willing to do a video making fun of us.
Oh.
Because they make fun of us sometimes. I don't know if you see Tyler and Alyssa in the kitchen. They will just make fun of us because they said it's comedy being in the car with us because we're so intense.
Damn.
We'll probably experience it today.
We don't realize that. We do have intense personalities, and that's
Yes.
probably why me and you mesh well and match. And like you said, you have male energy.
It's actually...
You're not very sensitive. Like a lot of women,
Yeah.
they can't handle a guy like me. I am intense. That's just the way I was raised and grew up.
Yeah, it's actually one of the comments pointed that out that I'm going to be talking about in a bit. But also, you guys, on Tuesday, we are releasing dueling vlogs. So we both vlogged our full day in the life on Friday, and we work together a lot of the day. But it's going to be his perspective and more of his day and my day, and they're going to cross over each other a little bit. So it's a little crossover.
Is that called a collaboration?
Yes, it's like a
Let's
collab.
collab.
But they are two different vlogs, but there's a little bit of a crossover. But yeah. Anyway, so one will be on his channel, Esco Elite Fitness, and then the other one, obviously, on this channel, our dual channel.
And go over to Esco Elite Fitness. Shoot me a follow, you guys.
Oh, on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, and then our Candidly with Coffee, we hit 400 followers over there.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. Yeah.
Little by little.
Little by little.
You guys are helping us elevate.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
It's crazy. We need to go back to doing our funny videos. We used to do a lot of funny, especially...
Good.
It was, now I remember why we did it. Because I was like, why were we doing those funny videos? You used the funny videos. You were helping me get out of my funk after my mom died.
Yeah.
That's when we did them.
Yes.
We did them after my mom. Yeah.
And
We
let me
started
tell you,
them after my mom died.
Some of them took off. Like one of them, man, amazing. What, 7 million views or something?
We have
crazy?
one that has 10 million.
Oh my goodness! So
It's crazy.
we're somewhat famous out there in the world,
Somewhere.
just circulating.
Somewhere circulating. We have a few viral videos that are in the 5 million and up.
While I have you on that subject, somebody sent me a DM. Says, "Is this you?" I was like, "Shit, I'm busted." Drive through of McDonald's. Took a picture of the ZL1.
Someone took a picture of you at the McDonald's.
Getting our food yesterday.
That is hilarious.
And sent it to me. I wasn't nothing.
Busted.
I don't hide that. I don't eat.
No, I know, but isn't that funny?
So much,
Like, of all places.
Because look, what if I was a preacher? I eat clean 24/7. I know.
Yeah, what if
no
you were
cheat
like,
days.
no cheat days?
No cheat days. I'm 100% strict like some of these.
That's
trainers claim.
hilarious because
Nah.
by the way, for our cheat meal yesterday, we had
Yes.
McDonald's and
Yes.
it was worth every calorie.
Yes.
It was delicious. I had a McDouble with cheese plain, a small fry, and a 6-piece nugget. And it was just delicious.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Double
just
quarter large fries and 10-piece nuggets and a Diet Coke and boom.
Oh, and the Diet Coke at McDonald's is so good.
Yes. People are probably like, "Are you telling us to go and eat?" No, we're just telling what we ate for our cheat day. That's it.
Go
If you wanna
ahead.
go,
if
it's
you
a
want to
free-
have it. The moral of the story is have what you want
Yes. Balance.
in moderation.
Yes.
I hadn't had McDonald's in maybe 6 months
Yeah.
or more.
But then if you tell it or post a picture of it, "Oh my God, why are you eating those chemicals?" Listen, once in a blue moon ain't gonna kill you. There's chemicals in the air, so relax.
As I
okay?
drink my
Oh yeah,
Diet
as you
Coke.
drink your Diet Coke, there's chemicals in that. But you had a shot of tequila, or we had drinks right here.
Or champagne.
Or
like
champagne.
celebrating our
Yes.
success with champagne. No one would worry.
But you don't talk about how toxic it is to your liver.
Dr. Drew said that alcohol is one of the only substances that humans intake regularly that's literally a carcinogen to every tissue in the body.
We always think about just the liver. We don't think about the rest.
Degrading to every tissue in our body, so cumulative damage.
Yes.
Brain cells, you actually lose brain cells with every drink you take.
Think about it. You get all loopy out of your mind when you drink too much.
But you don't fully recover. So every time you get really drunk and then sober up, you're a little dumber than you were before.
Damn it.
Microscopically. According to the data from Dr. Drew said it's like scientific proven brain scans to corroborate that.
I believe it.
Crazy though. You don't think about it when you're just like binge drinking when you're young,
you don't.
or whatever.
You're just having fun in the moment. Hey, look, I'm having fun. And the next day you got to pay the price for it, and then your body has to pay the price for it.
It's crazy. But other than that, we had a good weekend.
Yes.
I enjoyed my cheats. So I'm tracking my cheats, but I do bump up my calories. So I think I did about 2,400 calories yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So I bump it up by about 1,000. I usually give myself about 1,000.
Yeah.
That I bump it up by.
So did the scale scare you this morning? Be honest.
No, I had no issue. It's like a switch that switched in my brain about weighing in. I don't care. It is what it is. I am that weight, and you just like facing it. I don't know what it is. Something changed in my thought process on a lot of things lately.
So what would be your advice to women, your ladies, to change their mindset about the scale, not being so
Well, first of all, let me say what it was. So I had a cheat day, and the scale's going to pop up. But I had a cheat day last week too, and the scale popped up on that day. So now it's just data now that I have it, right? So for example, last week when after I stepped on the scale after cheat day, I was 129.2. Okay. So it popped up a couple pounds.
Yes.
This week after cheat day, I was 126. What did I just do? 126.3 or something like that.
That's 3 pounds down.
From last Sunday, post cheat day. So you see what I'm saying? You're comparing
now you have data.
oranges to oranges because that's a post cheat day weigh in. Last Sunday, post cheat day weigh in. What that tells me is I'm trending down. So I'll probably hit in somewhere a new low this week is what that tells me. I'll probably be at around 124, 123-ish even. Yeah. Last week, my low so far has been 125 on my journey, but now it doesn't freak me out. It's still heavier than I'm used to being. It's still heavier than I was. I'm still about 5 pounds up from when I feel really good and confident.
Yeah. I was only up 1.5 pounds yesterday. Early morning weigh-in to this morning from cheat,
But the number itself
it
doesn't affect me is what I'm saying. It's just about the trends.
Yes.
And seeing it. I'm actually learning to love the data. Like I said with everything, learn to love the things you hate the most.
That's a very good advice. It's like working out. Okay, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But then you start finding rhythm. You start seeing results. You start feeling good. Then you learn to love it. Yeah. Even me included, I hated legs coming up in the body. My boy was like, dude, you got to do legs. You can't neglect them. I started doing them. Results went up. I fell in love with it. Legs is like my favorite now.
So what I would say to women who fear it.
Yeah. Men fear it too.
I really want you to think about what it is that you fear, though, because what I realized is in most cases, you're not fearing the scale.
Nope.
You're fearing the scale knowing your dirty little secrets. Yes. And your dirty little secrets are that you're hiding, that you are not really putting in the work, or you're slipping up, and like the scale knows. You may not have logged it in your app or done it in front of anybody, but the scale knows what you've been doing.
I like the way you put that, because you could lie to yourself, you can lie to your coach, you can lie to your friends, but the scale is going to hold you accountable. You can't lie to the scale.
Now, I'm not trying to say to get married to a specific weight, but that's what it is. That's another thing. People get fixated on the number instead of the data. Don't worry about the number. No. If I was worried about the number, wouldn't I be like, oh my God, the scale's up like 1.5 pounds from my low last week.
Yeah.
Like I fucked up. Yeah. McDonald's, damn it.
Yes. No.
It's the data that I'm gathering. I'm not fixated on that number. And so I think that's the key, is to figure out, why is it that you don't want to weigh in? Is it just because it's going to hold you accountable to the lifestyle you've been living?
Exactly. That's what it is. And they don't want to face the music. And that's what facing the music is.
Because if it's just that you're not liking the number because you're putting in the work and you're doing everything and you feel good, but the scale, then that's easy to fix, because then you can just look in the mirror and try on your tight pair of jeans and you can see, okay, yeah, things are definitely changing. It's just a recomp that's happening. So the scale's not moving accordingly.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I'd say learn to love the things that you hate the most.
Yes.
And guess what?
Yes.
The things that you're avoiding are probably the things that you really need to be doing.
Yes.
So if you're out there and you're avoiding, you're trying to do every diet under the sun except for track macros.
Yes.
Probably time to track some macros. If you are avoiding carbs like the plague because you're so afraid of carbs, you probably need to learn how to eat some carbs.
Yep.
So the things that you're avoiding the most are the things that you need to face and learn how to do.
Yeah.
And that's my
you're right.
That's my advice on that.
That's very good advice, actually. Solid as it can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
All right, so moving on to Comment Corner. First one comes to us. It's a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. So thank you so much, Tabitha38. We really appreciate that. She says, first, I would like to thank you both for keeping it real. Maybe I needed to hear that maintenance is right there on the line. Remember we talked about that?
Toe the line.
Toeing the line. I feel like I needed to hear that, as well as how people tell me you don't need to lose any more weight, since my goal is to keep an athlete's look. At 47, I want to look fit and healthy. I can't wait till you take it to the next level. I like the discussions as I'm trying to lose body fat to stay fit after losing 80 plus pounds.
Ooh, good job.
I love that.
Good job.
Congratulations on the 80 plus pounds.
Yes.
That's amazing. Don't listen to anybody. Nobody knows what weight or when you need to stop or whatever. That's just their own uncomfortability.
I like what you said. People always think they know what's best for you. Like, hold up. Are you in my body? You know how I feel? How do you know what's best for me? Are you some kind of super doctor? You know what I'm saying? People always want to give their 2 cents what's best for you.
I know.
But they don't, because they don't want to look in the mirror and hold themselves accountable.
Right.
I want to make people uncomfortable. The more, the better. I'm doing my job then.
Yeah.
You know, the leaner I get around these men.
Yeah, they see you and they're like, what in the heck?
Intimidate them. Maybe it'll push them to do something with themselves.
Motivate.
That's it.
Inspire.
That's what I'm here to do.
The other thing that she pointed out, she was talking about needed to hear that maintenance is right there on the line. That's something I want to drill home again.
Yeah.
Because even after we talked about it, I thought about it some more. You really never want to set your daily calorie intake at what you perceive to be your maintenance, because that is just the surefire way to slowly gain your weight back.
You slip little by little.
Give yourself a cushion. It's, again, I always like the metaphors, okay? So if your rent is $1,000 a month, you're not only going to put aside exactly $1,000, because what happens if you have a repair or something comes up?
Yeah.
Then now you don't have enough to cover rent.
Yeah.
So it's the same kind of thing. Give yourself a little cushion even in maintenance. So for me, my maintenance at my current activity level is 2,000 calories. So when I go into maintenance, I'm not going to eat 2,000 calories a day. I'll probably do like 1,650.
Yeah.
And then have a high calorie weekend.
Sort of balance itself out.
Yes.
So what you're doing, I see your system, your formula, and I don't think people grasp it, is you also total calories for the week. You can also track, you guys. And then you could add your cheat, and then they could balance out your
And what I
macros.
like about setting my calories a little lower during the week is if something does happen and go south, or I end up consuming more than I intended to, it just takes away from my extra weekend calories. I can still have room to make an adjustment. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But if you are right there at the line, the minute that you consume over, that's fat storage. So now to get rid of the fat storage, you have to consume under. I actually listened to a doctor explain that this is how people gain their weight back, like especially after large weight losses.
Yeah.
It's not that they go crazy. Even like, it's not that they like suddenly just eat everything. Even people that are still tracking and monitoring, it's because when they have those off days, they're not making up for it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to make up for it. Because if you have, say you track and monitor and you're diligent and you have an off weekend and you put on a pound that weekend, then Monday you just go back to your regular track and you're back on track. You still have that pound. And if you do that 10 times in a year, That's 10 pounds.
And then you don't realize, like, how did I get here?
Yeah. And in this weight, it was actually like an obesity medicine doctor. And he said, this is where we see our patients put the weight back on.
Yep.
It's in the little
Increments.
sneaky ways. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much, Tabitha. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Next one comes to us from, I think this is from Instagram comment. It's from Angela H. And she comments, how do you know when to move from a calorie deficit to maintenance? What if you still have a bunch of fat loss? Can you just remain in a deficit for a year or more until the fat is gone? This is what I say, you have to listen to your body. So biofeedback. Biofeedback is when you're in your deficit, how do you feel? Do you feel, if you feel good and you're energetic and you're still piping along, you don't feel like the wheels are about to fall off the bus, like you feel good right now.
Yes.
Like you are
How long
smooth
I've been
sailing.
on the deficit?
3
Yes.
months.
And I'm getting stronger and packing on
So
more
you
muscle.
are fine to keep going.
Yes.
You still have you haven't reached your goals, but you can keep going.
Yes, I'm still going to keep going.
Now, had you right now at 3 months are like
that's usually the cutoff.
Wanting
cut 3 months, right? They cut the diet.
No. What do you mean 3 months?
I'm saying, I'll give an example real quick. It's April. I want to get fit for summer, so they go hard for 3 months, and like you said, you get to a certain point, and then that's.
I know, but what I'm trying to explain is the answer to answer the question. Hello, try to deter me here. The question is, how do you know when to stop? So if you are here, you've been 3 months, and you were starting to feel run down, start to like skip workouts because you're like, fuck, I'm just tired. I feel beat up, depleted. Crash out on the couch. Start not sleeping well. Start craving things a little more crazy. Not being able to reel it in like on a cheat meal day, like going a little crazy. That's your body. It's called what I call biofeedback, and your biofeedback is telling you need a break, because if you don't give yourself the break, your body's going to force the break. You're going to fall off the chains. You're going to have a crazy weekend. Then you're going to play yo diet. So if you start to feel that, it's time to take a diet break. I do this with my clients. I'm like, you know what? Let's go into maintenance, which is a conservative maintenance. So like we just talked about, we don't take them to full maintenance. We just bump up their calories a little bit. Let's manage our expectations and not expect fat loss during this bump up. And let's just get our energy back, get our motivation back, take a pause for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, just depends how you're feeling. And then we'll hit it hard again and go back. So it's based on the person. There's no timeline. Yes, you can be in a deficit for a year if you feel good. That's the benefit also of being in a conservative deficit, not trying to lose weight rapidly, because you could sustain it longer. If you try to set your deficit too low, you're dead after a month. And then you're either going to go into a yo diet or you're going to have to take a break or whatever. So yeah, that fast fat loss that you had, you're probably going to gain it back, or you're not going to be able to sustain it, so you're not going to be able to keep going.
Exactly.
You know, like the tortoise and the hare?
Yes.
The tortoise went slow and ended up beating the rabbit because the rabbit went crazy and then collapsed.
It blew its wad. You do the same thing in fighting. You pace yourself. You don't go out all wild. No, you come out, you dance, 1, 2, 1, 2, kick. You relax. You get into the flow. Your heart open up, but people want to like gangbusters. Like I saw a video the other day, like people go gangbusters and go hard for a couple weeks and then crash and burn.
Yeah, it's based on that. And I have many clients that'll come to me and I can tell when they're needing that and be like, all right, listen, time for a diet break. A diet break doesn't mean you're stopping. No. It just means you're bumping up your volume. That's all it really means. You're bumping up your intake to like replenish everything, to curb some cravings, curb some hunger, and just reset everything. It's good for the metabolism too. But if you are on a deficit, things are moving, you're not hitting roadblocks, you're feeling good, you could keep going. Only when you start to hit some roadblocks, either in how you feel or then if your body starts to really fight you. But let me say this, when you think your body is fighting you because the progress is stopping, it's usually actually not your body fighting you. It is because the biofeedback that I talked about is causing you to be less consistent with your deficit. So that's why you're stalling. You are stalling because of that skipped workouts, extra cravings, bad sleep. You're stalling because the biofeedback is telling you need a diet break. You're not responding because the biofeedback is making you not consistent in your deficit.
Wow.
It's not really that your body doesn't want to let go of fat. That's just cool things people say in the fitness industry. That's bullshit.
Yes.
That's not.
They always try to make, exactly. Always.
It's just a way to say your body's fighting you. It doesn't want to let go. No, it's that you're probably just burnt out from your diet.
Yeah, that's it.
So hopefully that helps. Biofeedback. It's all about how you're feeling.
Exactly. Pay attention.
All right. The next one, inspired by Christ J3877 says, "Oh, Mike, you're fired up. I love how both of your personalities are strong and can handle each other. My husband and I are similar. 5 a.m. is my sweet spot." That was a comment on the last episode. We are very similar, very strong. Yeah. It takes a strong, thick-skinned woman to be your wife. But it goes both ways, though. Yeah. Because I can steamroll over men.
I know you could. You have that strong personality for sure. I'm sure when you were single, you probably intimidated a lot of them.
Yeah, I have that.
Did you notice that? Did you?
Yes.
That's crazy. I don't know if I'm just confident. I've never been intimidated by a woman, no matter how.
Because you're strong.
Beautiful she is.
That's what I loved about you, to be honest, because I loved our ability to have an intense conversation or get irritated with each other.
Yeah.
And neither one of us wilts away like a little flower, a wounded bird or something. Oh,
no.
Like right now, I just snapped at you a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's all right. Doesn't faze me.
But some people after the show would be like,
men too.
When you cut me off when I was trying to make a point.
Yes.
It really hurt my feelings. I'd be like, are you freaking serious?
We have to have a whole conversation about it.
Like, seriously?
But you're making fun of women right now.
Oh, I know.
That's the majority of women right there.
But men do it too.
Men are sensitive too now, though. They are.
Not now. They just are.
They are.
So it's not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
What I'm telling you. What I'm saying is find a mate that you're compatible with.
That's
and
important.
It makes that much easier.
Yep.
Because we know we can have a healthy little argument and move on from it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, sometimes my brain goes in a crazy direction and I get really turned up.
Yeah. And then I just tell you to go away. Just go away for a while. You're annoying me right now. Go burn it off in the gym.
Go punch the wall.
Oh, goodness. All right. Hold my coffee
dun, dun.
Was a comment left on a video that we did that was talking about how we walk every day. It was, do you do this every day? Yes, because I love it.
Yes.
And this person comments, no, because I work nonstop and I don't live near anything like this. Because I showed a video of us, we were on the trail.
Okay, so.
That is the attitude that you want to avoid.
Yes.
That's a perfect example, so thank you, of the way you need to not think like that person.
Exactly. There you go.
That is a limiting attitude. That is going to limit you from lots of things in life, that type of attitude.
I wish I could ask this person, male or female? Female, I'm assuming they left this message?
It's a female.
Okay. Sweetheart, if you're watching us here on Candid with Coffee, have you been to prison? You can't leave the walls. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get into that.
You're not in a
prison. Why don't you save that for later?
You're not in a prison, so you can get out and walk outside. You're free to walk. You don't have to live near a creek or live near us. There's your answer.
No, you know what my answer was?
That's my answer to her.
My answer to her was actually when I was losing the weight, when I had to lose 100 pounds, I lived in an apartment.
Yes.
I had a newborn baby.
Yes.
And what I would do to get my steps in is when he was asleep, right outside my door, my apartment door was a cement stairwell.
Yes.
I would walk up and down that stairwell to get my steps in before getting steps in was even cool.
You know what's hilarious?
That was my exercise.
I had private clients at the Palmilla as well. Mm-hmm. When I was 24, and part of the workout, I'd have them, some of them, there's 3 stores, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, have them doing stairs.
Yeah.
Go, minute.
So where there's a will, there's a way.
Yes, there's your answer.
And I did that because I knew I needed movement. There were times, too, that I would just, if like I needed to put him to sleep or something, I would just walk up and down the hallway because I knew that, okay, I'm moving, I'm putting him to sleep, I'm doing my mom duties, and I'm walking at the same time.
Isn't that crazy? You had the instinct to do that back then? No internet, no. You got to get 10,000 steps minimum.
No, there was no such thing as counting steps back then. There was no such thing. But that was the only movement I did. And
we're way ahead of the game.
Yeah.
There's that.
Hold
my coffee.
That's my my coffee. Did I call it the hot coffee? Or was hold my coffee? Hold my coffee.
Yes.
All right, because hot coffee is I was watching Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald, and she talked about how there's a new reality show filming right now called The Valley. And it is a spin-off of Vanderpump Rules. So
Really?
Jax Taylor, remember Jax?
Yeah.
The one we met?
Yeah.
Jax and Brittany are on it. Kristen is on it. And then some of their other friends they live in the Valley, like in SoCal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they're filming right now.
Wow.
So that's going to be like a new spinoff. I don't think it's really been publicized a whole lot yet. I think it is a Bravo show.
So those are the old kind of cast members from the other show.
Yes.
So they're making
They
resurgence.
moved on with their lives,
Yes.
like they're got married and have babies and homes.
Yes.
And Jax
Wow.
is opening a bar called Jax's Studio
Oh,
City.
that's cool. Good for him. Good for
He's
him.
opening a bar just like a short drive from his house.
You said Studio City?
Yeah.
That's where they're at?
Yeah.
We've been to Studio City, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
That's
In the Valley and all of that, too. We've
Yeah.
driven around there.
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was interesting because I hadn't really heard them. I had heard they were coming back to Vanderpump Rules, but this makes more sense. They're not actually coming back to Vanderpump Rules. They're going
Why
to have
would
their
they?
own show.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really good. People want to see what are young families doing in
Yes.
this day and age. They're not rich families. They're like,
Yeah. Middle of the pack.
yeah, middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Like, how's that navigating being a reality star? And
Yeah. Because he probably gets recognized everywhere.
oh
That dude.
yeah,
You know, that show blew
especially
up.
Vanderpump blew up.
Isn't it crazy that these reality stars that everybody made fun of are kind of celebrities now? At least
Reality
local
shows
celebrities.
used to be looked down upon.
Yeah, like Scrubs. This is Scrub
Yes.
TVs.
Yes, big time. Now,
Yes.
not so much. Now, reality TV is
No.
what's going to
No.
support the whole entertainment industry because
Yes. Yeah.
the
strike's still going
strike is still going
on?
on.
Ooh. Yeah, it's going to be a wrap for Hollywood for a while, movies.
All right. Moving on, we're going to discuss the little post that you posted up on your Instagram at Esco Elite Fitness.
Oh, you're going to put the spotlight on me, huh?
Yes, we are going to. Now, we have talked about this
I'm
on
gonna
our
cower
show.
down. I'm nervous. I'm joking. Let's go.
We have talked about this on our show before.
we have.
So there's no secrets here.
No.
What's interesting is I always think about what makes interesting content like for shows. And I think people want to know things that they're not exposed to. They're curious about it.
100% for sure.
And so I think it's good for us to touch upon like your time behind bars.
Yes.
So what I'm referring to, if you don't know, is Mike posted you actually have pictures from
I
when
do.
you were
In federal
locked
prison.
up in federal prison
Sheridan, Oregon.
20
Shout
years
out.
ago.
Sheridan, Oregon.
And you posted a picture
Yes.
from in there. And we'll probably
2003.
over a few episodes cover this topic because there's probably so much interesting stuff to come out of it. But I think we'll start with some questions just to kick it off.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
The first question is, how long were you down? And what did you miss the most?
How long was I down? Just under 3 years. And what did I miss the most? My family and friends.
You were just telling me the hardest time was holidays.
Yes. Being away from my family and friends. My mother.
Okay, the next question is, assuming this was pre-Jeanine, how long before you told her about your past? That's a good question.
Because within probably a few months of us dating, right?
You told me we hadn't even started dating.
Oh,
We were just, you don't remember? I can't believe you don't remember this. You were my trainer first. We were not dating.
No, not at all.
Contrary to
You were still
popular
married,
belief.
I believe.
I was still married while we were dating also. I was separated. When you became my trainer, I was already separated.
Okay.
So I was going through a divorce.
Yeah.
But we were not like hooking up
No.
when you told me
Not at all.
about your
Damn,
being
I
in prison.
opened up quick to you.
Because we met. It was the first time we met outside of the gym. I was out having drinks and I said, "You want to meet me for a drink?"
That's right.
Remember?
And you almost got me in a fist fight.
Yeah. So that was the night you told me.
I did.
Yes, because you almost got into a fight
Oh,
because of me. Because
Yes.
the guy at the bar got upset that you came and suddenly I wanted to talk to you and not
He bought
him.
you flowers, and you were waiting for me to show up, and he felt some type of
Yeah.
way.
He bought me a drink and flowers. For some reason, there was
felt
someone selling flowers there, so
He
he
felt
brought
like
me flowers.
you belonged to him. Yeah.
Anyways, so you guys got into a scuffle, and the bartender noticed that it was him who started it, so kicked him out. But then after, you're like, man, I can't be getting in trouble. Remember, you're like, I just got off probation.
I had a vision in my head, like I didn't want to make a bad first impression on you and show you that other side of me, that savage side. I didn't want to spook you.
Yeah.
And I thought about, like, before all that even happened, I thought about cop cars coming, me getting arrested because of my past, and I had just gotten off.
Yeah, they would look you up and think, oh, you're for sure the one who's in the wrong or whatever.
Prejudged.
So you told me then, because you were explaining to me, like, I just got off 5-year probation or whatever. And then you told me that
I felt a little shameful to that and smashed that dude.
You said that bothered you for a while.
Yes, it did. I was hoping to bump into that guy again. Let's do it away from the bar and away from witnesses. Like, I was heated.
That bothered you for a while.
Because
I remember.
You got to remember, in prison culture, if you bump me and you don't say excuse me, I'm smashing you.
He didn't bump you. Like, he
bum rushed. Yeah, he grabbed my
bum
legs.
rushed you. Yeah.
I had my hands free. I could have grabbed a bottle, hit him, but it caught me off guard. Like.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's when you told me. Do you remember how I reacted?
I don't. I think you opened up to me about your brother going to prison.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why you understood, okay, I'm not going to judge this guy.
My brother was in prison too.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to put that out there. I just threw it out to your brother.
It's not a secret.
My bad. Yeah, I know. But
no. You know what? Power is, like I told you, never be ashamed of your past. There's power in acknowledging the things you've been through.
I didn't want to hide that from you because you're still were my client and we hit it off that night. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be upfront from the jump because I had dated someone previous. I don't know how much long before, but she had a little bit of a problem with it.
When you told her.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So like,
a little judgy.
Yeah, she's not the one for me.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because if you're passing judgment on somebody, like, we all fuck up in life. You know what I'm saying? Some of us get caught, some of us don't. There's plenty of people out there that do some fucked up shit and not got caught yet. So
yeah, someone said, do you feel judged for your past? What about now? Like now when people find out about your past, do you feel judged?
Not one bit.
Did you feel judged by anyone in my life or my family or anything?
Never felt uncomfortable. Never, nothing. No one ever made me feel some type of way. Nope.
Good.
That's it?
No.
Oh.
No. Okay. Share a story from inside.
Man.
Any stories?
I don't know what kind of story. Sheesh. That's a good one.
And any scary situation where you felt like, uh-oh, this shit's about scary in here, about to go down?
Okay, I'll tell you a story. So I got a little bit of trouble while I was in there, of course. Me. I had something I shouldn't have. They did a locker raid. All it was hydroxycut. It's considered contraband. You know what I'm saying? So
like fat burners.
Like fat burners. So they found that in my locker, hidden within my oatmeal. And everybody made a big deal like I got caught with steroids. So they sent me to the SHU.
Explain what the SHU is.
The SHU is a special housing unit. 23-hour lockdown. You're lucky if you get out for an hour. If the guards don't, they come early morning and knock on your door to see if you want to go to the cage. Basically, your yard time. You're in the dog cage for an hour. If you don't hit that wake up call, like if you don't hear it and tell them yes, they won't. So you'll be stuck in your cell.
So is that what people commonly refer to as solitary confinement?
That's it. Okay. That's the SHU. Yes.
Okay.
You're in there usually. Usually you're in there by yourself or you have a roommate or a cellmate. Cellmate. Ending up in there, and the SHU was like, holy shit, a prison within a prison. It's serious in there. There's like some violent fucking dudes in there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And yes, I grew up around gang culture, but these dudes, that prison at that time was run by, I won't get too deep with politics, but Sudanese, which are Southern Mexicans, LA. And them dudes, before face tattoos was a thing, them dudes were blasted all over their face, their neck. So I'm in the dog cage with these guys. And they're looking at me, probably wondering where I'm from, but there was never no words or nothing exchanged.
And how long were you in that? 30 days?
About 6 weeks.
Dang, that's a long freaking time.
Yeah.
For hydroxycut?
Yeah. I don't know why they had me in that. I thought they were going to ship me out because you're not supposed to have contraband. I don't know if they thought I snuck it in, but I didn't sneak it in. Somebody just gave it to me. So that was an interesting story. The reason, too, that was an interesting experience was that, to me, I feel like they use that to break dudes. I didn't break. Never once did I break. Never once did I cry or bang on my cell door making noise. I was like, okay, it's a vacation from a vacation. I just read books, kept my head down. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, I know people are going to wonder. We didn't actually get asked, but I think people will probably feel uncomfortable asking, but why did you go to prison?
Why did I go to prison?
Yes.
Reason I went to prison, I was heavily involved in that whole rave techno scene in the late 90s, early 2000s. So I went to prison because I was selling drugs. I was selling ecstasy.
Party drugs.
Party pills, ecstasy.
Yeah.
So, and crystal meth too. So, that's what I went to prison. DEA came after me. Shout out DEA. I'm just joking.
You know what the difference is between you and a gazillion other people out there, even right now, and is that you got caught.
I got caught.
That's the only difference, because.
So I got set up. I got set up.
It happens. It's not uncommon practice.
I was a young guy. I was 26 at the time. Yeah, 26, young guy, making boats load of money. I was feeling myself. It was just. It happened. I paid the price. I did my time as a man in there. You know what I'm saying? With my head up high.
Yep. And one of the questions regarding that is biggest life lesson so far, based off. What did that teach you?
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, it's not the physical part of prison. It's a mental part, not breaking. I've seen a lot of guys come in and break immediately. As soon as they get there, they break. They have like a psychotic break. One dude ran out in his boxers one night, came in, ran to the front and was banging. The inmates are trying to rape me. Like, homie, you're in a level 1 prison camp. No one's trying to rape you.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
His marbles.
That you guys paint the picture. This is not like your hardcore, because it wasn't a violent crime.
No, it was drugs. So they put me in a level 1.
Like a camp.
Yes.
Like a dormitory.
Yes. Yeah. It don't matter. I would have handled it level 2, 3, 4, but I didn't have to go to that level because it wasn't for violence. They classify you. Now, if I shot somebody and I was a drug dealer, I was violent, I'd be in a level 3, 4
right, which is different.
Yes.
So, just clarifying, because people don't know.
So my biggest life lessons is I'm resilient, and I have to remind myself that, and I know how to persevere. So when times get tough, I have to think, I've been through some tough times. Because losing your freedom and not be able to leave, that's a whole different ball game in itself right there.
Yeah. Now, interesting is, we'll for sure touch more on this topic, because there's a lot of good stories that I can get out of you right now that I know that you're probably not even remembering. So we'll save some of those. But what I do want to talk about specifically on today's episode is, let's talk about the birth of the Savage Hour, because the very first time that you really adopted like a healthy lifestyle and doing hard things and really dedicated to your nutrition and fitness was when you had the least amount of resources.
Yes.
The birth of Savage Hour was when you were in federal prison.
Yes. I don't know what got into my...
You started to get up.
The first month that I was in there, I was going through the motions. I'll be honest with you, I was feeling sorry for myself at first.
You went in overweight, by the way.
I went over... Let me rewind a little bit. The year before I went to prison, I, like a dipshit, kept partying, drinking my emotions, eating my emotions. So I gained a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I wish I would have took a picture before I went in. There might be somewhere. I might have something in my old photo album. I have to look, but it's probably in the 230s. I made that experience. I told myself while I was in there, the first month I was going through the motions. I wasn't really I was in my head. I'll be honest with you, like getting the feel of this place. Then one day I flipped the switch, said, you know what? I'm gonna change my lifestyle while I'm in here, and forced myself to get up at 4 a.m, drink my coffee, and go do cardio every morning. First thing in the morning, fasted. Because I thought fasted cardio was it. So I'd blast hour cardio.
So what was cardio in there?
They had a Stairmaster.
They had a Stairmaster?
They had a Stairmaster, an elliptical.
They had an elliptical?
Yeah, we had a little room with that. And I found myself a jump rope. So I was learning how to jump rope before that. I was taking boxing lessons from a friend of mine.
Interesting.
I still hadn't got down. I actually learned how to jump rope really good while I was in prison.
That's something new I'm learning. I did not know that.
Yeah, I had to jump rope.
And you could have a jump rope? That's not like a strangulation?
Level 1, no, listen, level 1, it's a prison camp. No one's killing each other. All the celebrities.
Sounds scary.
No.
Okay.
Not like that. Not a level 1.
So you could have that was allowed?
Yeah, not even a level 2. They're not going to trip off a jump rope.
I don't know.
But anyways, I lost my chain of thought.
So the cardio. You did cardio. You got fasted cardio.
Yes.
4 a.m.
Then I started, I didn't know about macros, but what I started doing is just eating small meals in my hand. I make sure I always had protein and carbs, like the size of my hand.
Didn't you tell me you had a little bowl?
Yes.
And a portion control bowl.
Yes.
You know what's so interesting?
And I would make my meals through the day and just use that little bowl.
You still do that here.
Portion control.
Old habits die hard. You love the little bowls. I noticed that you use the little bowls a lot when you're eating.
Yeah.
Does that because it helps you portion control? Before you were tracking macros.
Yeah, of course. I didn't know. I just knew eat a lot of protein, and I ate as much protein as I could. And then I will always do my weights in the evening, though, in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Only cardio in the morning. and do my weights in the evening. And yeah, so basically, yeah, that's where I adopted Savage Hour. And I got used to it. I just started going to bed like between 9 and 10 and waking up between 4 and 4:30.
And your goal was to what? Did you have a goal in mind
Yes.
with your body?
Yes, I wanted to, for some reason, my goal, I wanted to get down to 190. We'll see how lean I can get.
That was in your head. Could you weigh yourself in there?
They had a scale.
Oh, they had a scale too.
And I got down to 190. And we did this caliper test.
Uh-huh.
And I was about, I don't know, 10% body fat.
Here's another thing you used to tell me, which I thought was a very good practice in there. You said that you would get in commissary, you would get a Snickers bar.
Yes. Oh,
and
yeah.
you would cut just a piece of the Snickers bar and have a little piece every day.
I get a king size.
And cut it.
4 pieces. So
See,
whenever I was
love
craving, I would, boom, that's it. That's it, be done. I didn't even track it. I just throw it in
Yeah.
my mouth, eat it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Can't have another piece till a few more days. I did that to test myself.
Yes. That's.
I even bought chips or my weakness, and same thing. I'd have very little bit
Yeah.
in my little thing.
So you were doing. It's so
It's
interesting
really just to
to
test
me.
myself. I did that back then. I don't realize I was doing that. But
Yeah,
now
because when
looking
we
back,
talk about your practices in there, it's all very similar
yes,
to things that you didn't even realize that you knew yet, but you
No.
were doing.
yes.
Instinctively, it's
Yep.
like you knew. How did you get your protein?
Commissary, roast. They have these roast beef cans that come in gravy though, nasty.
Uh-huh.
So we wash them off, break it up in tuna.
You wash off the gravy, so you're
Yes.
washing off the excess calories.
Yes. Yeah, all that gravy that it came in.
Yeah.
Like chunks of meat. So I just wanted
Uh-huh.
the meat out of it. So we would get roast beef, cans of roast beef. And then eventually I got a job in the kitchen, and the kitchen cop, he'd always bless us after we're done with our shift, like extra protein. If there's a burger day, I get extra meat. Breakfast, extra eggs. So I always loaded up.
You knew you needed protein.
Yes. So I always loaded it. I never gave it away or bartered it. I kept it for myself.
What type of weightlifting could you do? They didn't have a weightlifting
Yes, we did.
set. Oh,
Remember,
they've taken them away
We're
now.
in federal prison, not state.
But even now, do they have weights?
I heard
You think?
upon leaving that they were taking them out, that the warden at the time was being an asshole because guys would. When I was leaving, cell phones were starting to come into prison.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now
contraband cell phones.
Now they're everywhere. Inmates got cell phones because they're racket. That's a whole nother story. But cell phones, creatine was getting snuck in, and every time they busted coming into the camp, he slowly punished them by taking the weight powder.
Hold
away.
up. Creatine was getting stuck in?
Snuck in too.
People were on the creatine tip in prison?
Back then, yes.
See, it must be
Proteins,
good, you guys, the
different
creatine.
stuff was getting inside. I remember because we didn't have access to that. Like, dude, why don't you guys sell protein powder on the fucking commissary like the state
But maybe
guys
they
did?
do now. I mean, keep in mind, you guys, the stories that we're sharing is 20 years ago. So they weren't emailing.
No.
They weren't. There were you got letters
Yes.
and packages.
It's totally different
Explain how commissary worked.
So basically, how commissary works is you have your ID card. Your
Mm-hmm.
ID card. I call you, my wife. Hey, babe, I need money on my books. You
Mm-hmm.
put money on my books. I go my ID card. You fill out your commissary slip.
How often did you get
and
to
then
order
you
commissary?
have to turn it in. And then when you turn it in, they're getting your order ready. So when
Okay.
you go up with my ID number, it's all calculated to the system how much money on my
Right.
books. So they have my order ready.
So commissary is like a convenience store.
Yeah, it's like a
And you have a
convenience
little
store.
catalog you get to order from.
Yes, clothes.
How
food.
often?
Every week.
So once a week.
Mhm.
Commissary must be fun, but everything is very expensive.
Yeah.
Explain, what would a candy bar be? Like on the store back then, say a candy bar was 85 cents. What would be the Snickers bar cost
Probably
in
double.
there?
Probably double.
$2?
Yes. They
So
make money off us,
everything's
which is not good.
very inflated. They make a
Yes.
lot of money
It's
off
dirty
commissary.
business. Yes.
Remember, prisons is a profit business.
It's free slavery, you guys.
It's
and
for
they pay us
profit.
cents on the dollars. It's for profit. Yes.
For profit.
Now the way I look at it,
It's a business.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a business for the government. 100%.
Yeah.
Dirty business.
They turn a profit and
Yes, they do. Because
them to work.
they get corporations, like big corporations, and they get these contracts, and then the inmates are making these things for these corporations. A lot of stuff they don't talk about that they keep
Mhm.
secret. But I found out more stuff like states do that. So I think some federal prisons do that. Wow, and then they sell it for cents on the dollars. Corporation, they're making profit
Yeah,
margins
very
astronomical.
interesting.
Yes, because cheap labor. And the reason it's not considered slavery, I think it's Article 13, or I said that. They pay us cents on the dollar, so we're not considered slaves. That's why they pay inmates money. I never understood that. Like, why do you get like 11 cents dollar?
Yeah, so when you leave, you whatever you earn during your stay,
Yeah.
they give you a check for it.
Yes.
You know, when I remember when I worked at
That's true.
when I worked at a burger joint when I was in high school, every once in a while there would be an inmate would come in, and like my boss would allow them to cash their check.
Wow.
And he would cash it for them. I don't know how that even came about. Maybe then they heard, hey, that guy at that burger joint, he'll cash the check. Because, you know, a lot of times they have a check, no bank account, no way to cash it.
Nothing.
Like they need that money. It's $200 or $700 or whatever, however much it was. But I remember cashing those checks.
Now, if I was going to do a long stretch, say I got like over 10 years, then I would have got a job with Unicor, which they pay pretty damn good. You can make $400 or $500 up to $800 a month, depending what
it's a company within the prison?
Yes. And you're making like furniture and all kinds of stuff. I wasn't there long enough. And then some of those guys, when they're getting out from doing hell of time, they're going home with 30, 40 grand.
Good for them. Who makes license plates?
They let you build a bank account. They let you get a bank account.
Is the license plates, is that a gimmick or is it state prisons?
State
prisons. They make license plates.
Yes, they make license plates. They do a lot of stuff in state prison. Yeah. If you go research it, man, whatever state you're in,
they started here in California with the fires. They started to release inmates to fight the fires.
Yes.
And they would give them jobs with Cal Fire. I thought that was good. Now, another thing, why don't you explain what in prison is where you got your first certifications?
Yeah, so a friend of mine, shout out Yvonne, he knew this dude.
Another inmate?
He's another former inmate friend of mine. And he said, hey, bro, I know you be personal training, you work out, because he's seen it. People pay attention when people walk in. He know I had size. He said he was into working out. They said, hey, they're teaching a personal training class, man. You want to take it? I could get you on the list because they filled up fast. You have to have inside hookups in there for certain things.
Just like life out here. It's the same.
You got to have certain plugs. Right. So I got into that class and I was like, yeah, why not? I wanted to keep myself busy. We call it programming. Programming means you occupy your day.
Of course, to make the time go by faster.
So I was like, yeah, for sure, I want to learn. Yeah. And that's where I got my first personal training certificate. Shout out NFPT. That was my first one. I never imagined in a million years. I was like, is this legit? Is this real? I got a job.
Yeah, you got a job when you got out.
As a personal trainer in Salinas.
Isn't it crazy that because of that's what led us to be together?
Yes.
It's because you're an inmate in there, told you about that. You got that certification.
I pursued it.
Got a job at 24 Hour Fitness when you got out.
Yes.
Then ended up transferring to my 24 Hour Fitness.
Then I lived in Salinas for 2 years when I got out of prison. That relationship didn't work out. I don't want to get into that. Then I moved to San Jose, 2007, May, June. Then I pursued my education more and got other certificates and got a job there. Shout out Adam Schaefer. Gave my first start. Shout out Adam Mind Pump. And then we met.
It's just so crazy how things work.
We talk about how crazy life is. I had to go through that journey to meet you.
Yeah.
Because I would have never lived in San Jose. I would have stayed in the city. What would I move
That's what I'm saying. It's just crazy.
So I had to go through prison.
Sliding doors. It had to happen.
Ex. That didn't work out there. Broke that off and said, you know what? A friend of mine and his girl were moving to a bigger apartment. I said, hey, if I rent a room from you guys, will you go 2-bedroom? And they agreed. That changed my life right there. The course of my life.
Huge. And then you were on probation for 5 years. So when we started dating, it was all done. You were fresh off probation, a few months off probation, and it was completely all
done. Perfect
It was
timing.
done. But yeah, interesting.
Isn't it crazy how I had to go through that journey or else probably wouldn't be here.
And I think, like I said, I know there's been times over the years where sometimes when you talk about it, you whisper it. Like when I was in prison.
I don't know why.
There's no secret, babe. Everybody knows.
I know. I don't know.
But I think that
it's just instinct for the public. If I'm out in public, I talk loud.
I know, but there was
shame to it back then.
There was a lot. Yeah. For you, shame. I feel. But what I feel like, in a lot of cases, in most cases, the only difference between somebody in prison and somebody not is someone got caught.
Yes.
Because I see people break the law every day, all the time.
Yes. And let me give you guys a little context. It ain't just drug dealers in there. I was in there with like famous people. I was in there with the Wolf of Wall Street. Then you guys know.
Yeah. What's his name? Jordan Belfort. At the same time, they served time together.
He lived around the corner from me. Nothing. What's funny is nothing like you see him boisterous and loud.
No,
he was like
quiet.
this, head low and quiet.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I'm like, it's gonna be all right. Who's gonna mess with you in here? You're gonna be all good.
Who's the other actor you were in there with?
Kevin Wangro. Damn, did I say his name? He was in the movie Heat.
Yeah.
Kevin. Yeah, not good friend of mine.
Yeah. Look at Martha Stewart. Huh? She did time.
Martha Stewart, Risa from Housewives, a lot of us. Those other white-collar celebrities that were in there.
But obviously, you weren't in, I don't want to mix it up. You weren't in with those people, but you were in with Jordan Belfort and the other guy, the guy from Heat.
Yes. Yep. The guy from Heat.
Yeah. My thing is, own your past, learn from it.
That's it.
And
I was young and wild and was reckless, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And when it came time to face the music, I was like, all right, it's time to, this is a real test in your life. Were you ready for this, kid? And I handled it like a champ. Very proud of myself for that.
Yeah. I mean, you came from the streets.
Yeah.
A rough upbringing.
But it doesn't matter. A lot of guys still break that come from the streets. They think they're ready for it, and they're not. They break.
Yeah. All right, so that is the spiel on the birth of Savage Hour, you guys, was actually behind bars.
20 years ago.
Not literally, because there wasn't actually any bars, right? Did you have bars?
What?
Were you behind bars?
Yeah.
There was bars?
There's a fence.
At the camp?
No, not in there.
You weren't in a cell.
No, it's dormitory living.
Yeah, dormitory.
No.
Anyways, but there you have it. Birth of Savage Hour was...
cells. Yes. Knucklehead.
Yep. All right, you guys. Now, moving on to one other thing, I just wanted to get off that prison topic and talk about...
Switch gears.
Flexible calories and meal plans, because we touched upon it a little bit earlier in the episode.
Yeah.
And I think I just want to reiterate that, because you just recently showed me a meal plan of someone who's following a specific meal plan.
Looks like a bodybuilder plan from the 90s.
Yeah. I just want to say, if your meal plan, if the way that you're eating in order to lose weight is not something that you can sustain forever,
yes,
the weight that you're losing will be temporary.
Yep. Why is that? Explain why that is.
Because you're not learning anything. You're not learning how to live real life and still maintain where you're at. So you're not getting the tools.
Yeah.
Also, if something is not enjoyable, you're not going to be able to stick to it for very long.
If you're eating the same thing, you could probably handle it for a week or two, maybe even a month. You're not going to go months and months. Unless you're like a competitor who's super disciplined, you're going to break. I'm sorry, but that's the honest truth. You're going to break.
Yeah, and when you break hard, you go crazy.
Yes.
And so I get this. I just want to change the perception of what eating in a healthy lifestyle and tracking macros and exercising and all of that. It's a healthy lifestyle. It is placing boundaries on your life. We talk a lot about boundaries, but that's all it is. It's not restricting you from anything, but it's placing boundaries on everything.
Yep.
That's really what it boils down to.
You don't want that.
But if you start like
you always say, have a healthy relationship with food. People don't know that. Carbs are the enemy, fat. What I always tell you guys always ask me, how many carbs you taking in, bro? No, that's the wrong questions you're asking, bro. How many grams of protein am I taking in, bro? That's what you should be asking me.
Exactly. One thing I haven't really noticed a lot, and this is why I encourage my clients to select balanced as their nutrition style.
Facts.
Because people will say, why balance? Because is it faster or is it going to be slower? They always think it's going to be slower weight loss. No, it's
no.
It has no impact on the speed.
Nope.
It's just a nutrition style.
Yes.
But the reason why I like balanced is because balance is the easiest to stick to for a couple of reasons. For one, it gives you the freedom to eat literally anything you want.
Yes. And people won't believe that until they learn this.
But also, if you structure your meals truly in a balanced way, then you are going to be very satisfied with that meal.
Yes.
Because you're designed to eat in a balance. The way your body operates the best is balance. What I mean by balance is if you are looking at how many calories you're getting from each macronutrient, if it's pretty even, coming from fats, carbs, and protein, you're going to be real satisfied. Your your blood sugar is going to remain balanced.
Yep.
If you have a really carb heavy meal, your blood sugar is going to spike. And when your blood sugar spikes, then it drops rapidly. Even though your stomach is full with contents, you're going to still feel hungry and you'll overeat.
Yes.
Because of the rapid drop in blood sugar. That's what happens if you were to just sit and eat a big bowl of pasta. Don't you notice that people always overeat pasta?
And they feel like they want to throw
and there's like, oh, they're unbuttoning their pants.
Yes.
Because you're eating beyond the capacity of your stomach because you're eating based on hunger and cravings because what your blood sugar is doing while you're eating it.
That's the magic. You go to the gas station and leave the pump running, and it doesn't stop when it fills. You spillage everywhere.
But if you eat a little bit of pasta with some protein and some fats, some olive oil, ground beef over a bed of angel hair, you're going to have a much better reaction to that because it's a balanced meal. So that's also why an important reason why I like balanced a lot. But just remember, you guys, restriction is not sustainable.
No.
Like extreme restriction.
Yeah, like one time I remember I was super hungry and I was nowhere near nothing. I was close to Chick-fil-A and I was like, what can I get from there? Cool. I'm going to get just the nuggets.
And that's because you have the skill to do that.
Yes.
Had you been losing this weight by eating off of a meal plan that says, even I'll give you an example.
Yes.
We have the InBody scale and they do this if you have the app, if you look at the app, it tells you like, oh, like we'll put you on a diet plan to reach your goals. And it gives you like, okay, pick from this circle. And it'll say pick from ground beef, pick from chicken, turkey. Then it says pick a carb. You get to pick rice, potatoes. Then it says pick a veggie. You get to pick broccoli, asparagus.
That sounds like old school. Like
so if that's how I was eating, and then suddenly I found myself in a McDonald's drive-thru, what would I do?
Yeah,
like, oh my God, they don't have any of these pictures at the McDonald's. Like, how am I going to do? Oh, I'm just going to eat what I want to eat here, and I'm just going to chalk this up to a bad day.
Yep. But instead,
because you don't have the skills.
Yes.
But you had the skills, so you knew, because you know when you start tracking macros, you begin to learn it.
Yes, you do. That's part of the game. You get good at it, and that's what I did. I like, all right, I'm gonna get a 12-piece. This is how many protein it has. That's all I'm worried about. I'm worried about protein. I'm not worried about carbs and fats. I'm worried about not going on my macros and hitting my protein goal. Hey, at 48, it's working like a charm.
I actually had someone ask that question. I thought it was a good question. She said, I always run out of calories before I hit my protein goal. It's so frustrating. How do I do that? I have some tips for that.
Yes, easy fix.
For one, always start your day protein heavy.
Hello. Always do my first meal super protein heavy.
Because if you do that, for one, there's actually scientific studies to back it up that you are less likely to overeat the rest of the day because of the satiety factor of the protein, number one. Number two, you get a lot of protein out of the way, like more than half your protein. By the time it's time for my nighttime treat, I don't even need to satisfy a protein goal with that.
I know.
If I don't have to satisfy protein, I can go have my It's It ice cream or something like that.
Yeah.
But if I'm short on protein, it limits my treat options. I'm like, shit, I got to have a protein bar as my treat because I need more protein.
Yeah. Or a shake.
So what I tell people is don't be afraid to double up on your protein. And it's a myth, by the way, about...
Talk about the myth.
Don't worry about, you can only eat 30 grams of protein at a time.
Your body can only absorb 30 grams or 35 grams.
If you are not a bodybuilder trying to manipulate the most granular little things because you need to step on stage at 3% body fat and have like striations, then you don't need to worry about that.
No.
Okay? You're a lifestyle person just trying to lose weight and feel good in your clothes and be a fit, healthy person. You don't need to worry about that.
Nope.
Start your day off with a good amount of protein. And it's not that hard. I think people,
It's not.
They don't want to double up on their protein. Like have a protein shake and a breakfast sandwich. And there's 55 grams of protein right there.
That's it. Or I was going to say have yogurt, mix it with protein, and then have some eggs on the side.
Yeah. So think about that. Like to me, there's a million different combinations where you can literally have 50 grams of protein at the beginning of the day.
Easy.
And if you're a woman,
I get like 60 every morning.
Your needs are half met. Because chances are you only need 100 to 130 maybe, depending on who you are, what your stats are.
How active you are,
So don't be afraid to double up, meaning two sources. So if, like I said, a protein shake and a breakfast sandwich, right there's 50. Faye yogurt, that's 18 grams for a serving, with a scoop of protein powder, that's another 25 grams, and some egg whites on the side. And that's barely any calories,
50 grams, right there, easy.
The other thing, good rule of thumb to make sure that you don't run out of calories is for things that you feel like are a lot of protein, do this little trick. And I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. Look at how many grams of protein something has for the serving you're about to eat. So, for example, you think, oh, this says high protein. It has a lot of protein. It says 20 grams of protein. Add a 0 to that. That would be 200. Now look at the calories. Is the calories 200 or less? Then yes, that is something that has a good protein to calorie ratio.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way of looking at it.
If the calories are higher, then you're wasting a lot of calories and not getting a lot of protein. So don't fall for the gimmicks. Like if you look at a granola and it says high protein, I'll look at it and go, oh, this has high protein. I look at it. It has 12 grams of protein. I'm like, okay, 12 grams. Add a 0. That will be 120. Now let me look at the calories per serving. 340 calories?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this doesn't have high protein. I put it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because 340 calories is a lot of calories to consume if you're only getting 12 grams of protein.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that sometimes, but if most of your meals end up like that, you'll be that person holding the bag at the end of the day with no calories and you left, and you still have 30, 40 grams of protein to eat.
Exactly.
That is a rule of thumb that has helped me, saved me a lot of money, and it saved me from not buying the bullshit marketing on packages that say high protein.
Ever since you've done that, I do that too. I pay attention to that.
Then I know, oh, this isn't high protein. It's
They're
bullshit.
lying. Yeah.
But if you look at like a piece of chicken breast, right? 4-ounce piece of chicken breast, 26 grams of protein. Okay, add the 0, 260. Now let me look at the calories for this chicken breast. 130 calories? Hell yeah, you are winning.
Yep.
And that is why you got to incorporate those lean proteins, because those wins are going to help you hit that protein goal for very little calories.
Exactly.
And it's going to leave you some freedom for the treats.
So basically what my wife is saying is get good, bang on your money, good return on investment.
Yeah.
Think about investment. I'm investing this much money. I want a good return on my
and you
money.
don't have to do that with everything. Not everything you eat has to fall within that.
Yeah.
But if you do that at the beginning part of your day, you make those kinds of decisions, by dinner time, you'll have a lot of calories left and not a lot of protein left to hit. Then you can have that second serving of potatoes or the serving of pasta, because you have room in your macros to enjoy the extra carbs because you've already satisfied your protein goal.
Exactly.
Or you can have that dessert, that piece of pie or whatever, and fit it in because you've already hit your protein goal. That is like gold. I just gave you gold. Okay. Free gold. Take it and run with it, because that little tip right there is worth a lot of money, because it will help you reach your goals.
Yep.
Because if you start regularly hitting that protein goal and not going over on your calories, it's just, you're going to hit your goals.
Yeah.
You're going to get there.
Yeah. True.
All right, you guys.
You go.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on Friday.
See ya.